This is the magical time of year when you can justify wrapping yourself in a blanket burrito, sipping on hot cocoa, and gaming the night away. But let's not just settle for any games. This season calls for something classic, nostalgic, and heartwarming. That's right, we're diving into 15 best old-school games for a cozy winter night. We're talking about revisiting pixelated quests and basking in the simple joys of 8-bit soundtracks. These games are pure comfort food for the soul. We've got everything from dungeon crawlers that'll transport you back to the 90s, to side-scrolling adventures that feel like hugging an old friend. So grab your controller, fire up those retro consoles, or emulators, we don't judge, and let's unlock some pixelated magic. And hey, if you're feeling that warm, nostalgic glow, hit the like button, drop a comment about your favorite cozy winter game, and don't forget to subscribe for more gaming nostalgia and good vibes. Now let's kick it old school. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, PS2. Grab your wands and warm butterbeer, because we are diving into one of the coziest magical adventures from 2002. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for PlayStation 2 is the kind of game that makes you want to curl up in your favorite armchair by the fireplace, just like in the Gryffindor common room. This enchanting action-adventure title takes everything wonderful about the second Harry Potter book and movie and transforms it into an interactive experience that feels like a warm hug from Mrs. Weasley. The game lets you freely explore the magical halls of Hogwarts, which is honestly half the fun. You can wander around discovering secret passages and hidden rooms while the snow falls outside your real-world window. You'll attend classes to learn new spells, challenge yourself with various puzzles, and even zip around on your broomstick in some seriously fun Quidditch matches. The game gives you plenty of freedom to roam the castle, do side quests, and solve puzzles at your own pace. No time turners needed. The PS2 version, developed by EA UK and Eurocom, is particularly charming with its ability to let you land your broomstick wherever you fancy, making exploration even more delightful. Released alongside the film in November 2002, it became one of the most beloved Harry Potter games ever made, praised for its less linear approach and engaging gameplay. The cozy factor comes from those quiet moments when you're just wandering through the castle corridors, casting Lumos to light your way, or chatting with the ghosts floating about. It's pure magical comfort gaming at its finest.
You are the bounty hunter, huh? Your country loves to make trouble in mine. Perhaps you come to hunt me, huh?
Red Dead Redemption, 2010. Now we're moseying on down to one of the most atmospheric Wild West adventures ever created, Red Dead Redemption. Released in 2010 by Rockstar Games, this old cowboy game kind of makes you want to brew a pot of coffee, wrap yourself in a blanket, and lose yourself in its stunning frontier world. The game follows John Marston, a former outlaw trying to make things right, or as right as they can be when the government's basically blackmailing you. What makes this game particularly cozy, and yes, a game about outlaws can be cozy, is its incredible ambient world building. Picture yourself trotting through the wilderness on your trusty steed as the sun sets, painting the sky in gorgeous oranges and purples, while a harmonica plays softly in the background. That's the kind of magical moment that makes you forget you're sitting on your couch in 2024. Unlike modern games that bombard you with constant action, Red Dead Redemption knows the value of a slow burn. You can spend hours just hunting, playing poker in smoky saloons, or watching the stars come out over the desert. The game's got this wonderful mix of action and contemplation that feels like reading a great Western novel by the fireplace. And let's not forget about those campfires, literally the coziest feature in the game, where Marston can set up camp anywhere in the wilderness, cook some grub, and save his progress. The narrative unfolds like a classic Western film, with memorable characters who feel like old friends by the end. Whether you're helping strangers with their troubles, breaking wild horses, or just sitting back to watch a thunderstorm roll across the plains, there's something incredibly comforting about being in this meticulously crafted world. And when that soundtrack kicks in, composed by Bill Elm and Woody Jackson, it's like wrapping yourself in an audio blanket of pure Western atmosphere. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Released in 1998 for the Nintendo 64, this game is like a warm cup of cocoa for your gaming soul. Perfect for those chilly winter evenings when you want to lose yourself in an epic adventure. Let's start with the plot, shall we? You play as Link, a young boy from the Kokiri forest who gets caught up in a time-traveling quest to save the kingdom of Hyrule from the nefarious Ganondorf. It's a classic tale of good versus evil, with enough twists and turns to keep you on the edge of your seat, or snuggled deeper into your blanket. The game's ability to seamlessly switch between young and adult Link is not just a neat gameplay mechanic, it's a cozy reminder of our own childhood dreams and adult responsibilities. Now, let's talk gameplay. Ocarina of Time revolutionized 3D action-adventure games with its innovative Z-targeting system, making combat feel smooth as butter on a hot Hyrule loaf. The game's pacing is perfect for those long winter nights. You can spend hours exploring the vast world, solving intricate dungeons, or just fishing at Lake Hylia. And don't get me started on the music. Composer Koji Kondo created a soundtrack so iconic that humming the Song of Storms is practically a gamer's lullaby. For starters, there's the charming, blocky N64 graphics that somehow managed to create a world more immersive than some modern titles. The game's lack of voice acting means you'll be doing a lot of reading, which feels delightfully retro and adds to that curled up with a good book vibe. Plus, the game's day-night cycle and changing weather patterns create a living, breathing world that feels like home. From the moment you step out onto Hyrule Field for the first time, to your final confrontation with Ganon, Ocarina of Time wraps you in a warm blanket of adventure, friendship, and heroism. So this winter, why not dust off that N64 and lose yourself in the timeless magic of Ocarina of Time? Just be careful not to play the Sun Song too much. We don't want to rush through these cozy winter nights. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Gotta go fast into one of the coziest retro gaming experiences that defined a generation. Released in November 1992, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 wasn't just another video game. It was a worldwide gaming phenomenon that had kids and adults alike lining up outside stores on what became known as Sonic Tuesday. This beloved sequel introduced us to Miles Tails Prower, Sonic's adorable two-tailed sidekick, and brought some seriously enhanced gameplay features that made the original look like it was moving in slow motion. The development team at Sega Technical Institute cranked up Sonic's speed limit and blessed us with the Spin Dash, a move that lets you rev up like a hedgehog-shaped motorcycle and blast off at full speed. Talk about 0 to chili dog in 3 seconds flat. From the snow-capped peaks of Hilltop Zone to the chemical-filled corridors of Chemical Plant Zone, each area comes with its own unique melody that'll have you humming long after you put down the controller. The game features over 15 unique music tracks, composed by Masato Nakamura from the J-pop band Dreams Come True. The game was an instant hit, selling a mind-boggling 2 million copies worldwide on its first day alone. By 2006, it had racked up sales of 6 million copies, making it the second best-selling Genesis game ever. The development team poured their hearts into creating something special, even sending 2 copies of the final game code on separate planes to Japan because they were so nervous about losing it. Talk about Hedgehog insurance. This game embodies everything that makes retro gaming so cozy. The perfectly pixelated graphics, the catchy 16-bit tunes, and that just one more level feeling that keeps you playing until the sun comes up. Okami. With this next game, you will be stepping into a living, breathing Japanese ink painting, where every frame is a masterpiece waiting to unfold. Okami is an artistic journey that wraps you in the warmest blanket of Japanese mythology and innovative gameplay. You play as Amaterasu, a divine wolf on a quest to save Nippon from darkness, armed with nothing but your godly powers and a magical paintbrush. What makes this game particularly cozy is its stunning visual style. Every inch of the game is hand-drawn, making each screenshot look like a phenomenal nature photo of the Japanese landscape. It's like curling up with an interactive Japanese art book on a snowy evening. Think Legend of Zelda meets traditional Japanese art. You'll explore vast toy box-like areas filled with secrets and treasures. The game's most unique feature is the Celestial Brush, which lets you pause the action and literally paint miracles into existence. Want to make flowers bloom? Draw a circle. Need to slice through evil? A quick brushstroke will do the trick. Every person you meet in this world has their own story to tell, creating a universe that feels alive and welcoming. The game's soundtrack perfectly complements its visual poetry, creating an atmosphere that's both epic and intimate. The best part? This isn't a quick adventure. You're looking at about 40 hours of cozy gaming, with multiple story arcs that unfold like chapters in a beloved book. Whether you're restoring life to a withered landscape or helping quirky villagers with their problems, Okami provides the perfect escape for those long winter evenings when you want to lose yourself in something truly magical. Stardew Valley. Escape the winter chill with perhaps the coziest game ever created, Stardew Valley. This indie masterpiece, lovingly crafted by solo developer Eric Concerned Ape Barone over 4.5 years, has become the ultimate digital comfort food for millions of players. The story begins when you inherit your grandfather's old farm plot in Pelican Town. Armed with just some hand-me-down tools and a few coins, you set out to transform an overgrown wilderness into your dream farm. What makes this game particularly cozy is its freedom. You can focus on growing crops, raising animals, mining in the caves, fishing by the lake, or building relationships with the town's quirky inhabitants. The game's pixel art style creates a warm, nostalgic atmosphere that's perfect for winter gaming sessions. Each season brings its own charm, with different crops to grow, festivals to attend, and secrets to discover. The game is filled with delightful references to Studio Ghibli films, from the dust sprites in the mines inspired by Spirited Away, to a mysterious scarecrow that's a nod to Howl's Moving Castle. It adds 3 new festivals, including 2 fishing tournaments and a desert festival, plus a new environmental event called Green Rain. There's even a new Meadowlands farm layout perfect for animal lovers, coming with a special chewy blue grass that animals adore and a starter coop with 2 chickens. The game has sold over 35 million copies by 2024, proving that sometimes what we really need is a gentle escape from the modern world. Chrono Trigger. Grab your time machine and cozy up for one of the most beloved RPGs ever created. Developed by Square's legendary Dream Team, including Final Fantasy creator Hironobu Sakaguchi, Dragon Quest creator Yuji Horii, and Dragon Ball artist Akira Toriyama, Chrono Trigger was released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in 1995. The game follows Chrono, a young hero who accidentally gets caught up in a time-traveling adventure when a teleporter experiment goes wrong at the Millennial Fair. Along with his friends Marl and Luca, he discovers that a parasitic creature called Lavos is destined to emerge and destroy the world in 1999. The story spans multiple time periods, from 65 million BC to a post-apocalyptic 2300 AD, allowing players to experience different eras of history while trying to prevent the apocalypse. Characters can combine their abilities to create powerful double and triple techs, adding a layer of strategy to every encounter. The game features visible enemies instead of random encounters, making exploration more engaging and less frustrating. With 12 unique endings, multiple side quests, and countless secrets to discover, Chrono Trigger provides the perfect excuse to stay inside on a cold winter night. The legendary soundtrack, combined with Toriyama's distinctive art style, creates an atmosphere that's both epic and intimate. By 2009, the Nintendo DS version alone had sold 790,000 copies worldwide, cementing its status as one of the most influential RPGs ever made. Chrono Trigger offers a timeless adventure that feels like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket of nostalgia. Harvest Moon. Snuggle up with the grandfather of farming simulators, the game that started it all. Released in 1996 by Pac-In Video in Japan and brought to North America by Natsume in 1997, Harvest Moon was the first of its kind, created in an era when farming games simply didn't exist. The brainchild of developer Yasuhiro Wada, this cozy classic was inspired by his own experiences growing up in the Japanese countryside. Unlike the action-packed games of the 90s, Harvest Moon dared to be different, offering players a peaceful slice of rural life that industry experts initially dismissed as boring. The gameplay revolves around inheriting your grandfather's farm, where you'll spend your days planting crops, tending to livestock, and building relationships with the townsfolk. The game's core philosophy focused on bringing a human element to simulation games, moving away from pure number crunching to create meaningful connections with the virtual community. The game's success sparked a revolution in the gaming industry, proving that peaceful life simulation games could captivate audiences. Its influence can be seen in modern hits like Stardew Valley, which drew heavy inspiration from these early Harvest Moon titles. The original SNES version earned high praise for its gorgeous 16-bit graphics and addictive gameplay, with IGN rating it 8.5 out of 10 and ranking it 46th in their top 100 SNES games. The game's cozy factor comes from its perfect blend of farming simulation and relationship building. Its success led to numerous sequels across multiple platforms, establishing farming simulation as a beloved gaming genre that continues to comfort players to this day. Nights into Dreams, obscure gem. Drift into one of gaming's most enchanting and surreal experiences. Nights into Dreams follows two teenagers, Elliot Edwards and Clarice Sinclair, who enter a magical dream world called Nightopia. When their nightmares become reality, they meet Knights, a rebellious jester-like being who helps them save both the dream world and reality from the evil wise men. While the world is rendered in beautiful 3D polygons, the gameplay takes place on a two-dimensional plane where Knights performs aerial acrobatics through stunning dreamscapes. Players must collect 20 blue chips before destroying idea captures, all while performing graceful aerial maneuvers and maintaining chains for higher scores. Its groundbreaking A-Life system, which populates the world with adorable creatures called Nightopians, is still memorable. These beings can interact, mate, and even affect the game's music depending on their mood. The soundtrack dynamically changes based on how you treat these creatures. Treat them well, and you'll hear cheerful tunes. Upset them, and the music becomes more melancholic. The game was developed by Sonic Team's Dream Team, including Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima, who drew inspiration from diverse sources like Cirque du Soleil's Mystère and the psychological theories of Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud. A special Christmas version was released in December 1996, adding holiday decorations and snow to the dreamlike environments.
Another life in another world right next door.
Animal Crossing Wild World. This game follows your character moving to a quaint village populated by anthropomorphic animals, where you start with a modest home and a loan from the entrepreneurial raccoon Tom Nook. What makes this perfect for winter nights is its real-time gameplay. The game syncs with your DS clock and calendar, meaning activities and events change based on the time of day and season. Wild World revolutionized the series with its unique rolling log visual effect, allowing players to see both the ground and sky simultaneously across the DS's dual screens. This innovative design lets you watch events unfold in the sky, like shooting stars or floating presents, while going about your daily activities. You can spend your evenings fishing, catching bugs, digging for fossils, or simply chatting with your quirky animal neighbors. Each villager has their own personality and daily routine, making the world feel alive and dynamic. The game even features special events and holidays that give you something to look forward to throughout the year. For the first time in the series, players could visit friends' towns through both local wireless and Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, though the online features are no longer available today. Final Fantasy IX. Step into a magical world that beautifully returns the Final Fantasy series to its fantasy roots. Final Fantasy IX was crafted as a loving tribute to the earlier games in the series. The story follows Zidane Tribal, a charming thief who gets caught up in an epic adventure when a simple princess kidnapping mission becomes something far greater. The game takes place in the medieval fantasy world of Gaia, where a war between nations unfolds as players uncover deeper mysteries about their existence. The Active Time Events, ATE system, lets players peek into parallel stories happening around the world, adding depth to both the narrative and characters. Players can explore towns, interact with Moogles to save their progress, and even participate in an extensive optional postal delivery quest called Mognet. Created under the vision of series creator Hironobu Sakaguchi, who considered it his favorite Final Fantasy, the game was designed to be a reflection on the older titles in the series. The development team focused on creating relatable characters with distinctive comic-like looks, drawing inspiration from films like The Dark Crystal to craft its unique visual style. The game features a traditional turn-based battle system with random encounters, but adds its own twists with character-specific abilities and skills. Each party member has a distinct role and personality, from the innocent black mage Vivi to the noble knight Steiner, creating a cast that feels like old friends gathered around a warm fireplace.
Oh good, he's fine. Hey, that's great! So Ness is a kid who enjoys hanging out with his friends and going on fun adventures. And now's a great time to get to know Ness's story and more.
EarthBound. EarthBound revolutionized RPGs by replacing medieval fantasy with suburban Americana and offbeat humor. The game follows Ness, a 13-year-old boy who discovers his psychic powers after a meteorite crashes near his home in Onett. Together with his friends Paula, Jeff, and Pooh, Ness must collect 8 melodies to stop the cosmic destroyer Gigas from engulfing the world in hatred. The game's unique setting trades traditional fantasy elements for modern conveniences. You'll heal at hotels instead of inns, withdraw money from ATMs, and fight with baseball bats instead of swords. The rolling HP meter gives players precious seconds to heal before fatal damage is dealt, while the auto-win feature for weaker enemies prevents tedious grinding. The game even features a groundbreaking soundtrack system that layers multiple tracks to create dynamic battle themes. The game's development, led by Japanese copywriter Shigesato Itoi, took 5 years and cost $6 million, making it one of the most expensive games of its time. The team created detailed clay models for character designs before converting them into sprites, contributing to the game's distinctive visual style. Despite selling only 140,000 copies during its initial North American release, EarthBound has become one of Nintendo's most beloved cult classics. Its unique charm comes from blending everyday situations with cosmic horror, all while maintaining a cozy, heartfelt atmosphere. Whether you're ordering pizza for delivery in dungeons, chatting with quirky NPCs, or fighting new-age retro hippies, EarthBound provides a warm blanket of nostalgia perfect for those long winter nights. Spiritfarer. Wrap yourself in a warm blanket for one of gaming's most unique and heartfelt experiences. Described as a cozy management game about dying, Spiritfarer follows Stella, a young woman appointed as the new Spiritfarer, accompanied by her cat Daffodil. Your role is to ferry spirits through their final journey, granting their last wishes before guiding them through the mystical Everdoor into the afterlife. What makes this game perfect for winter nights is its combination of relaxing resource management and platforming gameplay. You'll spend your time building and expanding a magnificent ship, creating homes for your spirit passengers, tending to gardens, cooking meals, and crafting various items. Each spirit has their own story that unfolds naturally as you care for them, cooking their favorite meals and building personalized spaces on your ship. The resource gathering comes in various forms, from catching lightning in bottles to peaceful fishing sessions, all designed to be relaxing rather than challenging. Despite dealing with death, the game maintains a delicate balance of comfort and emotional depth. You can't get hurt or die in the game, and there's no pressure to rush. Everything moves at your own pace. The relationships you build with your passengers feel genuine, complete with moments of joy, frustration, and ultimately, touching farewells. Little Big Planet. Snuggle up with one of gaming's most innovative and charming platformers. Media Molecule's debut title revolutionized user-generated content with its play, create, share philosophy. The game follows Sackboy, a customizable ragdoll who explores the whimsical world of Little Big Planet. The story takes players through 8 themed areas, each representing different parts of the world, from British gardens to African savannas, as Sackboy helps various creator-curators before confronting the mysterious collector who's been stealing creations. Players have access to an extensive level editor with over 400 different materials and decorations. The game's physics-based gameplay brings its crafted world to life. Every object reacts realistically to gravity and motion, while different materials have distinct properties. Each level looks like it's been built from cardboard, stickers, fabric, and other craft materials you might find in a cozy craft room. This attention to detail earned the game numerous accolades, including a BAFTA for Artistic Achievement and the Interactive Achievement Award for Overall Game of the Year. The community embraced the game's creative freedom with incredible enthusiasm. Within just 2 months of release, players had created over 84,000 custom levels. The game's success led to multiple sequels and spin-offs, with the original PlayStation 3 version earning an impressive 95 out of 100 on Metacritic.
You can't have one without the other.
I don't care who this organization is or what it's planning. There's nothing to worry about, right?
Go where?
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Get ready for a cozy adventure that gives us Disney magic with Final Fantasy charm. Released in 2002, Kingdom Hearts introduced us to Sora, a cheerful 14-year-old wielding a giant key sword, who teams up with Donald Duck and Goofy to search for his missing friends while battling shadow creatures called the Heartless. You'll explore wonderfully recreated settings from classic Disney films, from swimming underwater in Atlantica to flying through Neverland. The combat system feels weighty and tactical, requiring thoughtful decisions between attacking, dodging, and blocking, perfect for those long winter gaming sessions. Kingdom Hearts 2, released in 2005, continues Sora's journey with improved gameplay mechanics and an even more intricate story. The game begins mysteriously with a new character named Roxas, before reuniting players with Sora, Donald, and Goofy as they face a new threat, Organization Threed and the Nobodies. The sequel introduces exciting new features like reaction commands and drive form, making combat more dynamic while maintaining that cozy feeling of exploring Disney World. The original game follows Sora searching for Riku and Kairi across various Disney worlds, while Kingdom Hearts 2 builds on these themes with even more emotional depth as Sora seeks to reunite with his friends while uncovering the mysteries of Organization 13. Both games feature gorgeous soundtracks, charming character interaction, and that perfect mix of action and storytelling that makes you want to wrap yourself in a blanket and play just one more level. There you have it, 15 old-school gems that are perfect for curling up with on a chilly winter evening. These games aren't just a blast from the past. They're a reminder of simpler times when life was all about saving princesses, collecting rings, or surviving a dungeon run with 1 HP left. Which one of these classics are you itching to revisit? Let us know in the comments. And if this list brought back some great memories, show some love with a like and subscribe to the channel for more trips down memory lane. Stay warm, stay cozy, and most importantly, game on.
Give me strength! Give me strength! Back off!